What's up, sons? It's Blind Rod with Son of a Tech once again, and Ethereum is up 10%. Yes, that's the good news, but why? Welcome back. So today, the point man for the SEC determined that Ethereum and Bitcoin as well are not considered securities. This is big news and is the reason for the price going up. The concern was that if it was deemed a security, essentially there would be so much regulation within the crypto space, or at least to Ethereum in particular, that it could hurt its forward progress in advancing the technology. But why is it not a security? Well, we've talked about the Howey test before, and you can check it out up in this video up here and get an idea of what's going on between the difference of a utility token and a security token. But essentially the test goes that if you're deemed to have increased value that's paid out by a third party, then essentially you would be a security token. And this is the number one thing that Ethereum is not. A reason that Bitcoin is not, of course, is also because it's not really controlled by a single third party. It does have a ton of people that contribute to that code and so on and so forth. But today we're really talking about Ethereum. It is interesting that they did classify, of course, Bitcoin along with it, but the Bitcoin price didn't go up near as much. I think we saw about a 10% to 11% rise in Ethereum, while on Bitcoin we only saw maybe between a 5 and 8% rise, at least immediately. So it seems like Ethereum has a really strong position here, especially considering all of the versatility. I think the primary reason that Ethereum isn't, of course, considered a security is because it is a platform to basically trade different assets. It also has smart contracts, and people are building technologies up on top of the Ethereum blockchain, and its primary use is obviously not for trade, while Bitcoin is primarily for trade, but that gets into a whole bunch of technical jargon that I think we'll put aside for another video, of course. Hinman basically came out and said something to the effect of Ethereum is not a security, and the reasoning he gave, of course, was actually that it's because it's on a decentralized platform, which, using that terminology, actually makes me question whether any cryptocurrency is technically, of course, a security. The ideas that I have for potential coins that could be a security, and we're talking about coins, not ICOs, we'll get to that in a second, would possibly be something like Tether or Ripple, and that's because of their backing and relation to the US dollar. And that would be something where essentially you never hear somebody said Ethereum or one Ethereum coin earned a US dollar. But in the cases of Ripple and of course Tether, you do hear that. So there are a couple that might have to deal with, of course, the ramifications of being classified as such. If that did happen, of course, the things that we want to see get into place are that the cryptocurrency exchanges that do exchange those particular coins would have already complied with the regulations that come along with securities. But if you're just looking at trading Ethereum and Bitcoin at this point, you're not going to have to worry about it, at least in the United States. Now, Hinman did go on to state that certain ICOs could be considered securities. And this is a little problematic because determining which ones are securities and which are not is going to be a little bit more difficult because there's so many more of them. Thanks to actually Ethereum, it's very, very easy to basically deploy ICOs. And since initial coin investments can have, of course, that promise of some sort of return from a third party, in that case, it would be considered a security. Now, if you're currently looking to invest into cryptocurrencies and so on and so forth, I would look for ones, especially if you're US based, that are primarily classified as utilities. So at this point, I would say, yes, it's safe to go ahead if you're going to invest, and if you're willing to lose some of your money, basically only invest what you have to lose, it would be better to invest it in something that's already been deemed not a security like Ethereum or Bitcoin than to go with any of the others. Let me be very clear, this is not investment advice. This is saying if you were to, then the safer bet US side would be Bitcoin or Ethereum. Once again, not investment advice. Be very, very careful. There are a lot of telling signs of this being a bubble, especially if you take a look at the latest article that we're going to do another video over from a UT researcher who went ahead and took a look at why Bitcoin and Ethereum and other cryptocurrencies are possibly being price manipulated. So be very, very careful here before you go invest any money, and only spend what you can lose or are willing to lose, of course. All in all, this is really good news for blockchain technology. I'm very happy to hear that this is how we are handling it as a government, or as our government is handling it here in the United States. I hope you guys are having some good lucks across the pond as well with all of this, and congratulations on any Ethereum that you're currently holding. Awesome stuff. If you guys want to check out more mining videos, of course, go browse through my channel. I'm sorry that I haven't been doing as many videos. It's really, really hard to keep up with, but I am live every night on twitch.tv/sonofatech_, and I am chatting pretty much every minute over on our Discord. You can find links to both of those in the description below. Let me know what you think about this decision by Hinman in the comment section below. Do you agree with the decision that it shouldn't be considered a security, or do you think that Ethereum could possibly be being dishonest with the SEC about this and it actually is a security? In my opinion, it's not, and I'm pretty happy to see this. Like I said, I think it's really, really good news for blockchain as a technology, not blockchain as a currency, and we can start getting back to all of the innovation around that space. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you next Tuesday.